recent video. Today we're going to take a look at Prowler utility, an interesting alien ship. No, it is interesting. I did not expect this type of ship to appear, but hey, here we are. So before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And of course, the number one PSA is you do not need to buy any of this ship with real money. All you need is a starter pack and that's it. That's it, really. Okay, so let's begin. Now, the Prowler, before we go to the utility part, because the Prowler utility is built on the Prowler hull. And I don't think there's a major shift of change because we're going to take a look at some of the stats because the Prowler is technically a stealth dropship. And it is 440 US dollars. That's a lot of money. And it's one of those ships. In fact, I think this is the first, not just alien ship, but the first ship in the game that they promote hovering technology, whatnot. We have a shield, how do this? An air shield system. Okay, I cannot confirm about the air shield system whether this is the first or not, but it feels like this is the first as well, the first introduction. And it is also a stealth, all stealth purpose built dropship. So it has a lot of cool stuff inside. Gravity emitters that allow the Prowler to fly low over the harshest terrain. So yeah, this part I am curious because I tried to fly it because it is a spaceship. Technically, it will go above ground. So yeah, I need to test a little bit more on this flight characteristic. But then again, it offers hovering or grav left, whatever you want to put it. So yeah, it's cool. It's great. Let's see, hardened armor shield design. Okay, this one doesn't really matter. Not saying it doesn't really matter because as a dropship you need more armor and shield, but that's mainly for the Prowler. We are not talking about the Prowler. We are just looking at some of the characteristics of a Prowler. And then we're going to take a look at the Prowler utility. So this is kind of important. 2 times size 5 weapon hardpoint. We have a turret with size 3. Okay, we don't care about the cargo, and that's about it. Because we can compare the variant Prowler utility at $300. And now let's take a look. So the Prowler utility is built on the Prowler hull. So basically it should get most, if I don't think it's all, right? Most of the can I say hardware stats? All right, most of the stats from the Prowler. Now the Prowler utility changes a few things. It swap out the not say all the dropship seats. There is a little bit, so that's why this ship is very, very exciting right now. So it swaps out a lot of dropship seats and put a cargo bay in its spinal chest. All right, in its chest, and it is exposable, which means it is, yeah, you don't need to go in and, okay, I don't know how to describe it, but it is exposed. You can grab it from the outside. That's one. And number 2, the key thing about the Prowler utility that stands out at the moment with all, in fact, actually I would say any ship that does cargo hauling really needs a tractor beam. And this is predominantly from the Crusader C1, the C1 Spirit, and I love that ship. That because of the tractor beam, that ship is one of the best daily drivers out there, straight up. And of course it's cheaper. But however, Prowler utility takes all the notes from the C1 when it comes to cargo. So it is and actually it ones up a little bit. Just a little bit. Exposed cargo, which means you can go up, grab. In fact, you don't need to leave your seat. Just use a tractor beam, grab box, put it in. Cha-ching! And it is a nice I would say in and out. Right? Just go in, dip in, grab a box, put in. Use your tractor beam, grab the box, put in your exposed cargo bay, and then dip out, straight out. And I think it's the most efficient use for the for a cargo hauling, I would not say experience. I'll call it a hot cargo. I want to call it a hot cargo grab, but that doesn't sound right. But you get what I mean, right? Get into it. Doesn't matter if it's a combat field. Doesn't matter if it's a dangerous area. Drop in, grab cargo, get out. easily. And to top it off, because the Prowler is built on the Prowler utility is built on the Prowler hull, which means it should have some goody stuff. And one of those things is stealth. Yes, that's right. This is one of those early ships in the game that promotes heavily on stealth capability. Not just the Aegis Saber. So that's great. And I think a lot of people are excited in general for the Prowler because finally they get a stealth dropship. Right now, I'm even more excited because this is cheaper than the Prowler at $300. And I get to scoop up cargoes on the go. And if this has stealth capability, it is an easy recommendation if you want something exotic. I dare say, you know what? I dare say this is one of those ships out there that I would say, hey, if you want something exotic, sure, that's cool. But is it a good exotic ship? Unfortunately, we don't really have a direct comparison to the Prowler. The closest thing, if you want a cargo ship, right? This is just a side little segue. If you want a cargo ship or alien cargo ship, I think the Raylan is a much better pick. But this one's a bit different, all right? So I would say this is on its own. Plus, it has a lot of, not say a lot of firepower. It has enough firepower to do some of your daily bounty hunting needs if you want to. And yeah, it's just nice. All right, so before we go to that a little bit, first thing, price tag, because price tags really makes or break a ship. $275 for the Warbond version and $300 for the store credit version. One thing about it is do not buy any of this ship straight up with the retail price or sticker price. We don't care about this paint, although I do like some of the paint. No paints. You get to have Warbond upgrade. That's a big deal. This whole thing is a big deal for me because if you want to enjoy Star Citizen a little bit more, and if you want to spend more money, this is mainly for people who want to spend money, just do the upgrade option because you can get the Prowler utility much cheaper for sure. So we can do the Vanguard Warden to Prowler utility, $15 US, pay the difference, and then that's good. That's really good. I think 15 is a little bit higher on the side that I would like to have a Warbond upgrade, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Plus, you get a $25 air quote discount. Yep. Even if you don't want a Vanguard Warden, you can pick up the Mercury if you want to, or the Guardian Chi if you want to. And this is the best time for people who really want to have more expensive ship. I recommend do the Warbond upgrade. Number one, you can definitely get the ship cheaper. And then if you missed out the LTI offer, yes, we're going to talk a little bit. If you missed out the LTI offer, don't worry. Any ship bought with real money, and I hope they don't change, it is 100% will be in your hangar at all times, even though when it's destroyed. The only difference is the insurance. You just need to pay in-game currency to retrieve or to repair or to whatever service they want to put it in. Whereas lifetime insurance, you don't need to worry about expiration date. That's about it. Okay, so that's that. And for me, I do really care about this perk because if I'm going to spend money, I want to get the best of the best. That's just me. And it's a little bit on a requirement for me not to spend too much money on ships. So that's how I do it. Yeah, just do Warbond upgrade. Simple as that. And now here comes the fun bit. All right, so yeah, we do have a little bit of dropship action over here. Nice internal not internal cargo, nice cargo, internal cargo visuals. Very nice. I like this. It is very industrialized on top of being alien, and I think that's a little bit of I would say pro and con, because some people, they just want the alien look, the organic, alien look. Some people, they just say, you know what, I want some sleek design, like a little bit alien-y, but not too alien, a little bit more human. So the Prowler, I would say, strikes in between, between alien and human, I would put it this way. And the Prowler utility makes it even more humanized, I would say. Yeah, because the external of not say external, the exterior look of the Prowler utility has this little cargo bay thingy, whereas if you go to the base, let's close this. If you go to the base Prowler, it's you don't get to see that. Come on, what? Yeah, you don't really see too much. Oh no, it's on a slideshow. Yeah, it is very sleek. So the base Prowler is very, very, very sleek, and that's cool. Okay, so at least there is distinctive silhouette in between the two. That's all right. So we're going to take a look at some of the stats sheets and see what do we have. Okay, yep, it is a little bit more wider, I would say. Okay, length, cargo capacity, 32 SCU, not the best, all right, not the best. Singles, max single cargo size, so each side is 16. One pilot seat, one co-pilot seat, 3 jump seats. So technically, it is not it's not really a dropship seat per se, but 3 jump seat is, you know what, you can put 3 person inside there. All right, straight up. All right, I'm guaranteed I will jury rig this thing. Right, whatever seat can be used as a air quote drop seats. Okay, in fact, I would dare say even though it does not have seats, people just cram it in anyway. All right, shield generator 4 times size 2, coolers 2 times size 2. That's okay. Shield generator is the one that we care a lot, so 4 times size 2 is actually not bad. And gravity generator, nope, 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 no. Fuel intakes, not bother. Quantum fuel tanks, this is later. We're going to take a look at the stats. Computer, size 2, radar, size 1. So basically normal. Pilot control weapons, 2 times size 4. And then turret is 1 mirror mode turret, 2 times size 3. So it has a little bit of a bite if you want to challenge the Prowler. And don't tell me you don't like the sight silhouette. I love the sight silhouette. It looks like a bird. And guess what? The Tavarine is a alien bird-like species. Yeah, the top part, because of the cargo bay, is a little bit, yeah, not so great. Side view, lovely, lovely. Back view, yeah, back view, this side thing is not so sleek as the Prowler. I would give that, okay? I would give it. And of course, we got a size to track the beam. Okay, so that's the stats. Now, the stats that I care the most is if you're going to buy the Prowler, obviously the cargo is secondary. I would say it's on, because if you want a cargo hauling ship, the C1 is better. It's cheaper, straight up, right? It has tractor beam, so there we go. So if you want to get the Prowler, namely is alien. Number 2, it's a stealth capability, straight up. That's the only reason why you want to get a Prowler utility. That's it. That's really, really it. And for the Prowler, it's even, I'm not saying worse, but for Prowler, it's even more niche because you only care about stealth dropship. That's it. So, base Prowler, size 5 hardpoint with size 3 turret. And if you go to Prowler utility, turret is match, but we drop the weapon from size 5 to size 4. Reasonable, all right? Because the price is cheaper to begin with, so I'm okay. Next up, we want to take a look at the most important stats, which is the stealth capability. So we have 3.8k. We don't care about these 2 signatures. We care about the cross chassis signature, which is 3.7. And if we look at the Prowler utility, 4.2, so 500 meters more. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. And we take a look at some of the stats as well. 1-to-1 speed, 450, so it's a little bit slower. Okay, that's cool. Pitch ER roll, 38, 32, 110. Okay, so it's definitely a little bit more sluggish. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see, what else do we need to compare? HP, yes, we need to compare HP. We need to compare, next is a little bit of hydrogen capacity. Now, not hydrogen capacity doesn't really make a big deal, but what we care is the shields. All right, so base Prowler, we have 4 size 2. Fair enough. Power plant size 2, coolers 2 size 2. And then if we go to the Prowler utility for size 2, exactly the same. Size 2, size 2, size 2, exactly the same. However, we have less HP, but in return, we get more hydrogen capacity. Quantum field, oh, I forgot to check, 2.25. 2.25 versus 2. So it's a little bit more. So the trade-up is less stealth capability than the Prowler, but you get a little bit more, I would say, mileage. No, I cannot use mileage. Range. The word is range. More range, and at the same time, a little bit less pew pew. But is it a big deal? A little bit less pew pew. It seems it is a big deal. But before we do anything, M7, no, M6A. I'm gonna swap it out to laser so we can have a fair comparison. Okay, there we go. This is M7A because at the same time we don't have a dead. I mean, at the end, I got tongue twisted. At the end of the day, all you need to do is find out what weapon system fits you the best, right? And of course, size 5 will generally do a little bit more DPS. In this case, did I see something wrong? Oh, we have to disable the remote turret. M4A. I don't think this part is very, very important. Yeah, M4A, M4A. Okay, so 186. There we go. There we go. There we go. Not a big difference, all right? 639 to 957. Yeah, not a big difference, but then again, 30% increase. No, 30% decrease in damage on the Prowler utility because of its size. Now, back at the day, before they did a little bit of rework for the weapon system, size 5 is definitely way better than size 4, hands down. But now I think they kind of switched the gap in between. So size 5 is still there. Size 4 is catching up a little bit. Okay. But for now, before we end the video, the most important thing is you need not to be too attached to some of these ships. In fact, I try to detune as much as I can not to be attached to ships in general because they are subject to change. Very, very important, subject to change. And that would change your experience for sure. And some of this experience will make or break the ship. So that's it. And before we really end, this is the signature that I need to take care of, right? Minus 54 physical damage, minus 65 EM, minus 63 IR, minus 45% cross section. And I think it's already calculated inside here. So yes, less stealth capability, all right? 57, 55, 38, minus 50 physical damage. Okay, cool. So the Prowler utility is not one-to-one with the Prowler chassis, which is one. I think it's not say it's a good idea, but it is supposed to be, because if you're going to pay $440 for the base Prowler, it has to have the best of the best, okay, when it comes to a stealth dropship. Or rather, this is the gold standard for stealth dropship. And for the Esperia Prowler utility at $300, you know what? Yeah, I expected something to be a little bit less great. And that's that for the Prowler utility. Okay, before we really end it, let's go and check one last thing. We want to check a look at the Crusader Industry C1 Spirit. Right, the C1 Spirit has how many SCU? 64 SCU. So before you say anything, the Prowler is really just for a hot, I would say a scoop. It's literally a cargo box scoop because it doesn't really carry a lot of SCU. It is expensive. It has stealth capability in return. Okay, that's one key thing you need to remember. If you want a tried and true daily driver, the Esperia Prowler does fit the bill. Okay, it does really fit the bill, but it is very expensive at $300. And last but not least, all right, if you want the Esperia Prowler, because I want it too, now I think it's a little bit more accessible for me, please do the Warborn upgrade. Okay, just do the Warborn upgrade and you'll be safe 100%. And with that, that's all I have for you for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And I will see you in the verse. And fly dangerous. Yep. Okay, now before we go, I think this is number 3. No, it's number 2. No, number 3. Number 3 on my alien exotic ship list that I want. Yup. Number 3.